SCP-085. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Revised on redacted date. SCP-085 is to be contained in a single chalk whiteboard, bond, a drawing pad, and a secure containment facility. Revised contact with SCP-084 is unrestricted to all personnel with Level 2 access. All personnel coming into contact with SCP-085 are subject to searches and random psychic analysis upon entering or leaving the containment area. Absolutely no paper or canvas media are allowed to exit SCP-085's containment room. Any paper trash must be disposed of by incineration after careful inspection. Paper and art supplies are to be brought in only by authorized personnel. In case the fires are smothered, being rapidly atmospheric replacement and CO2 dumping system, personnel are advised to quickly secure oxygen gas and tank from the wall for a sign of smoke and fire to prevent asphyxiation. The procedure cannot be halted until all fires are suppressed. Description: SCP-085 is a result of an experiment conducted between SCP-067 and SCP-914 using SCP-067. Test subject 1101F drew a single female figure about 15 centimeters 6 inches in height and 3.8 centimeters 1.5 inches wide, in summer dress with long hair pulled back into a ponytail, with the name Cassandra. Written underneath, Dr. Expunged proposed using SCP-914 on various settings on images created by SCP-067. Using the Find setting, the Cassandra sketch was transmutated into her present form, a sentient black and white animated young woman drawn in clean strokes. Further attempts to duplicate this result have been unsuccessful. SCP-085 appears to be called Cassy. She is completely sentient as of redacted date, however 2D form and her limitations in a three-dimensional world. Although her voice is inaudible, she has learned to communicate with SCP Foundation personnel through sign language and writing. SCP-085 may be communicated with by writing text and paper. She exists on personnel report that she is amicable and motivated, albeit lonely. SCP-085 can interact with any drawn object in the same page as if they were real. For example, she is able to wear drawn clothing, drive sketch cars, and drink painted beverages. Except for animals and people, any drawn object becomes animated within contact with SCP-085, but immediately ceases and holds position once out of contact. Artwork initially depicted as emotions such as ocean waves and swaying trees animate to an equilibrium state and stay at rest until acted upon by SCP-085. SCP-085 has also demonstrated the ability to transfer from one sheet or image to another, as long as the two are flush. In the event of SCP-085 enters a picture that does not support the drawn objects, such as a repeating pattern, the picture is converted into a background image. SCP-085 perceives the picture as an endless plane of the image drawn onto it. At the present time, SCP-085 can only exist through paper on a canvas surface. SCP-085 cannot transfer into photographs, cardboard, glass, or parchment. When entering other pieces of art, SCP-085 takes on the artistic style of her new environment, whether it be comic book and oil painting, watercolor, or charcoal sketches. Note, in comic form, her voice is visible, although the voice bubbles around her head in typical comic book fashion. As she moves between panels, the perspective of her relative size are altered appropriately. Document 085-1. Introduction to several prints authored by M.C. Escher. Researcher: Cassandra, this is known as the Ascending and Descending. What do you think? This time, SCP-085 walks in a few times around the staircase. 085. It's pretty, I guess. Would make a neat exercise track. See nothing inconsistent with the staircase. No, as far as I can tell, it just loops down and up all the time. Why don't more stairs do that? More stairs do that. Pretty neat. After the session, SCP-085 requested several impossible objects in her own environment. These requests are pending O5 review. Document 2. Instant 085-A. Prior to redacted, SCP-085 was unaware of its status as a two-dimensional object in a three-dimensional. Prior security protocols require that SCP-085 be kept unaware of its true nature in order to prevent psychological distress. Discrepancies with the perceived real world were presented as dreams or nightmares, and an effort was made to present SCP-085 a scenario in which it was the last surviving human post-apocalyptic world searching for survivors. The deception was quickly broken following an incident where SCP Foundation researcher accidentally brought a hard copy of SCP-085's Special Containment Procedures report into the containment facility and allowed it to contact with artifact's current location. SCP-085 transferred onto the document before the researcher could remove it and was immediately made aware of its true nature. Because of the containment breach, several researchers advocated immediately destruction of the artifact. The decision was appealed to the O5 Council, which in a redacted to redacted vote advised for SCP-085's continued existence. The revelation of the true nature, observers have noted that SCP-085 has begun to show signs of clinical depression. Psychotherapy has been proposed, but the nature of the artifact state the existence may make it difficult. Some success has been had by providing SCP-085 tangible means of distracting herself from her condition. Now, additional to the before mentioned optical illusions, SCP-085 expressed particular interest in a set of technological drawings of the 1964 Ford Mustang convertible. Transferring the parts one by one to the naturalistic artwork, then assembling the vehicle by hand over a period of a year. Gas lamps were provided through the Nortman Rockwell print of gas station attendee. Requests for further diversions of the nature are pending O5 level review and approval.